And we are back now with continuing coverage on the president's controversial commencement speech at the University of Notre Dame. Joining me now on the issue is Tony Perkins. He is the president of the Family Research Council. Good to see you in New York. Good. Thanks for being with us. Well, first of all, your general thoughts and observations from today.
Well, I mean, the president, he cannot take his rhetorical eloquence and cover his trail of his radical record. I mean, clearly, this guy, as you pointed out earlier, supported partial birth abortion, was against the Born Alive Infant Protection Act. You know, he's talking now about, for the first time in 3 decades in this country, actually funding abortion in his health care plan. That's pretty radical. And as you know, Sean, the government, when it offers to pay for something, the demand does not go down.
But one of the first things he did as president was to allow money to go to family planning
within days.
Within days of his presidency. Well, look, there's a difference between a little bit of difference in the Catholic and Christian community. What do you think about the Catholic Church's stand or lack of stand here?
Well, I'm somewhat disappointed because it was the Catholic Church that was first on the life issue. The Protestant Church was a little late to the abortion issue after Roe v. Wade. It was the Catholic Church that has been most steadfast on the life issue. And, you know, what is concerning here, I don't blame the president. I mean, this was an opportunity for him, a huge opportunity to go and speak to a group of Catholics, stalwarts on the life issue, and you know, use his language and his speaking abilities. But what's concerning here, Sean, if the church and Christian leaders will not stand and defend the truth and take a definitive stance, who will? I mean, they're really the last line of defense for the unborn in this nation, especially in this administration.
One of the observations I had, and maybe you have the same one watching him today, all the flowery rhetoric of the president and the idea that somehow we can have civil discourse and civil debate. His whole life and background has been one of radicalism. I mean, he stood there as a sole senator, and a baby that would live after a botched abortion was saying, no, should not receive medical care.
You cannot...
This is a child living independently outside the womb.
The American people need to realize they cannot listen to his rhetoric. They have to look at his record. You know, in his speech, he talked about there are those who are opposed to stem cell research. We're not opposed to stem cell research.
Embryonic.
We're opposed to embryonic, which has not led to any successful treatments. We're all about adult stem cells, which has produced over 70,000 or 70 different medical conditions have been treated with adult stem cells. So, you know, he's not being genuine in this conversation that he's having. He talks about reducing the need for abortion. Wait a minute. Reducing the need for abortion? I mean, that's assuming there is a need. That's like saying, let's reduce the need for child abuse. I mean, we're not going to reduce the need. We're going to reduce child abuse. We're going to do away with it because it's wrong. Abortion is the taking of a human life.
What do you think about? There's a lot of interwoven comments about socialism and attacks against wealth, etc. Did you notice that in the speech?
I did. I mean, he talked about attacking Wall Street and a good day's work, a good day's pay for an honest day's work. You know, look, America is a free market capitalist society. Capitalism works when it is harnessed by moral integrity. You don't instill morals back into our system when you attack the most vulnerable. And that's what the president is most known for in his controversial social policy, is abortion. As you said, with his hours of taking office as president, your tax dollars, my tax dollars, went to promote abortion overseas.
Well, he appointed many pro-abortion members in his cabinet and surround him now in Washington, and now we expect in the next week or so that he's going to announce his Supreme Court justice to replace David Souter. So would anyone be naive as to really think that he's going to go moderate as his rhetoric suggests? Because
he's made very clear he wants a judge who is empathetic. Well, I mean, Americans may want an empathetic family doctor. They don't want an empathetic.
How about somebody who believes in the Constitution?
Well, three out of every 4 Americans say they want a judge, a justice in the Supreme Court, who will interpret the law according to the Constitution, not about how they feel when they get up that morning, but based upon the standards and the laws of this country that we govern ourselves by. The Constitution's our agreement by which.
How big a battle is this going to be?
I think it's going to be a big battle from the standpoint of the record of the jurist that he chooses is going to be closely analyzed. Now, Sean, very honestly, you look at the numbers in the Senate and the lack of stand that we've seen from some of the Republican senators, I think that there's no question that they're going to be confirmed. It's a matter of how intense the conversation is in the process of vetting those candidates.
Tony, good to see you. Thanks for being with us. Appreciate it. All right, it's a time for Nancy Pelosi to go. Our great American panel will weigh in. Also, Miss California, Carrie Prejean, straight ahead.